Hello. At the time that I was starting to get the idea for this video, the TF2 community was then trying to get the attention of Valve so they do something about the bot crisis that TF2 has. While watching Grizzlyberry give his thoughts on the situation, he brought up the financial side of keeping Team Fortress 2 up, so I decided I wanted to go deeper into the topic. Not only will I give a possible running cost per year, I'll also try and give a possible revenue cost per year. Of course, I would like to give some heads up before I get to that. 1. I'm a stupid high schooler, so my work and research may not be completely accurate. However, for the purposes of this video, which are trying to give you an idea of what the running cost of TF2 might be, and also what the revenue for TF2 might be, this video serves the purpose. 2. TF2 is a 15-year-old game, and additionally Valve is not a very public or open company with information. So any numbers here will probably not be accurate due to being an old source or just being the only source available. 3. I will be giving the costs as a range based on my research. A low range cost and a high range cost will be given. On top of that, the range and the revenue will be represented in United States dollars. Now, with all those things in mind, let's begin. First up, let's look at the cost of keeping TF2 up right now. Valve runs servers for casual and competitive. However, the numbers of servers Valve has for TF2 is not clear, nor is it publicly available. What I will do, however, is see how many players are in Valve servers, both competitive and casual, and I will divide the player count of casual servers by 24 and divide the player count of competitive servers by 12. The reason being, since those are the max player counts for those types of servers, it will give us an idea of how many servers Valve has up at a time. I will be using data from tameworks.tf. Also, any numbers that when divided end up with a decimal will be rounded up to the next whole number just for simplicity. Anyways, at the time I started researching, the highest player count during a point in time was 8,843 players on casual servers and 29 players on competitive servers. 8,843 divided by 24 is 368.4583 repeating. And 29 divided by 12 is 2.416 repeating. So when we round that up, that is 369 and 3. So that's a whole 372 servers up at one period of time. Now that's just how many servers Valve has running at one point in time. We still have to figure out what type of servers Valve are running. There are two types of servers Valve could be using. Their own physical servers they own, or paying a server hoster to host their servers. For this situation, I will be assuming Valve is paying a server hoster, since I would have to assume a lot of information of what type of servers Valve owns and what the cost of those servers would be. So anyways, assuming Valve is paying someone to host servers, what would the cost be? Well, this is much simpler to find out. The community themselves run servers. Some servers are ran on a PC a player owns, however, most servers are hosted by a server provider and paid by a player. On average, servers can cost from about 12 United States dollars to about 35 United States dollars per month. Now this gives us some numbers to work with. So, multiplying 372 by 12, we get a low range cost, and multiplying 372 by 35, we get a high range cost. So that leaves us with a low range cost of 4,464 United States dollars and a high range cost of 13,020 United States dollars per month. Now that's only cost per month. We still need to find the cost per year, since that's what I am going for. So we're going to multiply these two values by 12, since that's how many months are in a year. When we multiply both these values by 12, we get a low range cost of 53,568 United States dollars and a high range cost of 156,240 United States dollars per year. Now, these are some big numbers. However, that's still not the full cost. We still have to include the cost of developers. Valve has to pay the people working behind the game. So let's see how much of those developers get paid. So the only information I got on TF2 developers was from a video by Uncle Dane from 2017 when he visited Valve's headquarters in Seattle, Washington. So please keep in mind, this may not be how many developers are currently working at Valve right now on TF2. The amount of TF2 developers back then in total was 16. However, we only know 4 to 5 of those developers were programmers. Every other type of developer, we don't know the exact number of how many there were. So for this count, I will be using the situation of 1 programmer for the low cost and the maximum of 5 given from Dane's video. Anyways, the average pay for a software engineer at Valve is $150,360 United States dollars per year. So that's the price of 1 programmer. Let's find the cost of 5. 150,360 times 5 is 751,800 United States dollars. So let's update our range. Our low range cost is now 203,928 United States dollars, while our high range cost is now 908,040 United States dollars per year. Now then, time to do some numbers that are trickier. The cost of revenue for TF2. Now I want to say some things again. Valve is not public and open with its information, so please keep in mind the numbers I get will not be the actual number and probably won't be accurate. I'm only using what sources I can find, just so we can get an idea of what the real number of revenue for TF2 might be. Now then, I will only be counting key prices in this revenue, since that's what most players buy and it's a good baseline. Additionally, if I counted all items in TF2 and how much they were being bought for, well, let's just say I would be here for a millennium. Anyways, I'll start with the community market. I did some research to see how much money was made from selling keys alone. In total, $200,870.10 were made within 1 week. However, that's not how much money Valve made from that. Valve only takes 15% of all TF2 Steam sales. So 15% of $200,870.10 is $30,130.52. Now that's only for 1 week, so let's multiply that value by 4.34524, or the amount of time for a month. That's $130,924.32 a month. Multiply that by 12, we get $1,571,091.83 a year. So Valve makes about $1,571,091.83 per year from TF2 keys alone in the Steam community market. Next up, the in-game store. Now, unlike the community market, we really can't look up the numbers for this one. So what I will try and do to get some numbers for this will be using something called the conversion rate. Now let me explain what the conversion rate is. The conversion rate is a percentage of players who go from not spending money on TF2 to someone who has spent money on TF2, at least within the in-game store. The term conversion rate was used by Gabe Newell during a 2011 interview, in which he said the conversion rate was 20 to 30 for TF2. I'm aware this is an old percentage, but it's the only one I can go off of, so we'll be using it for this. First off, we need a player count to use this percentage on. I'm going to be using the average monthly players just because that's the best number I think we can use for this situation. And the average players per month is 70,000. So let's use the maximum 30% on this situation. 30% of 70,000 players is 21,000 players. So let's say all these players bought at least one TF2 key priced at $2.50. That's $52,500 per month. Times 12, that's $630,000 per year, leaving us with a final estimated revenue cost of $2,201,091.83 per year, and an estimated minimum running cost of $203,928 United States dollars, while our estimated high range cost is now $908,040 United States dollars. And that's it. Now, I want to say some things again that I already said before. These numbers aren't exact, they may not be accurate, and these numbers only come from sources I had available, and some of those sources are old and not as complete as I would have liked. However, these numbers serve a purpose which I think they serve well. That purpose being to give us an idea of what the cost and revenue of TF2 might be. Moreover, I want to address some things. First off, my numbers show a pretty dramatic profit margin. These numbers only include servers and, at max, paying for 5 programmers. Uncle Dane's video stated that Valve had a total of 16 developers, so the cost of developing TF2 may even be higher. However, due to no specific number of how many of the other types of developers there were, I couldn't give a number on that. Second, although I use a 30% conversion rate, that is the maximum of that conversion rate. Gabe Newell gave a 20 to 30% conversion rate originally, and this rate was given back in October of 2011, so it is definitely not accurate to what it currently would be, meaning the revenue from the in-game store may be higher or lower. We don't know because we don't have a modern conversion rate nowadays. Third, the way I got the number of servers was based on how many players were playing on Valve servers. So Valve may have more or even less than 371 servers. Additionally, my value of $12 to $35 a month could be different to what Valve is actually paying for these servers because they might have their own servers, and if they are being hosted, they might be paying a different rate. And that's all I have to say for this video, so I'ma head out.